Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time. What an evening here on the YouTube streets. It's been something else to see, to be quite honest with you. And I think we are really, really losing message of Quentin from all parties, to be quite honest with you. I think we are getting we're getting it wrong. And while I completely support protesting, it is a constitutional right. No, they have not quit looking at the landfill. Untrue. But emotions are too high. Egos can be too big. And things can get heated way too quickly. What is the alternative to get mom to confess? I don't, but I mean, this is the thing. To be quite honest with you, I protest. I protest a little differently a lot of sometimes, but nonetheless, I still go protest. To me, it's just a way to show your grievance, your support. I will be the first to say, I think Leilani did it. I think she's not a good person in general. I mean, I'm sure she has good qualities. I think she probably got mixed up in drugs. I did too 10 years ago. Now, people do different drugs, people do different things on drugs, people behave differently when they're on drugs. I still think they're on drugs, nonetheless. But, and then you just have different personalities. I do think Billy Joe, in her heart of heart, knows that Leilani did it. Now, here's the thing that I personally disagree with Billy Joe. Billy Joe wanted Leilani out of that house, right? I see you. Can you do me a favor and check when that when Billy Joe filed that she wanted Leilani out of the house? And didn't she say she wanted the kids out of the house too? I'm just asking because I'm a little bit confused on that. Because you think I remember seeing that Billy Joe wanted Leilani, the boyfriend, and I could be wrong, I don't know, but if I remember correctly, the day before it happened, did it say the kids on there as well, or no? I can't remember. I've seen so much stuff I can't even remember. I know the day before it happened, she was supposed to. Someone saying no. Someone saying yes. It said all three kids. No. Yes. Okay. I see you said yes. Okay. This was my question about that. I haven't heard anybody ask this. Now, Billy Joe had custody of those kids, right? And if she had custody or guardianship of those kids, why would she want them out with their mother? That's my question. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. That's your question, too. That's my question. I get she wanted Leilani out, and I do believe Leilani should be out. She should not be there. I think it would show Billy Joe in a better light and more as like, hey, I really, I want justice. Now, Billie Joe says she wants justice. I do believe she does want justice, but I also can see Billie Joe not wanting to find, them to find. I mean, if there was repercussions that could go back on her. I don't believe Billy. I don't. I don't believe Leilani should be in that house whatsoever. Even if it's possible, those poor kids would be out with. That's what I'm saying, Lisa. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why in the world, if Jesus Christ, thank you guys. Thank you, Versi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank y'all. That's very generous of you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to be I always believe the truth always lies somewhere in the middle. And sometimes, it a lot of times it gets exacerbated and hyped up and all of that. But this is my thing. Like, I want to know why. Why did Billy Joe want all of her grandkids out? If indeed she wanted. That's exactly right. 1-800 Where's Summer? Let me find that. Where did that go? Wait, well, that wasn't it. I have turned my own child over my grandchild and put him in jail. This is the thing. This is where I differ with Billy Joe, but I will admit I'm not in that situation. And B, I've never been in that situation, but I would think as me as a human being, God forbid one of my children do something like this to my grandchild. I would have to pick my grandchild because my grandchild is a minor. They don't have the same, they're minors. They don't have the same, they just can't get off and walk out. They're babies, right? Billy Joe put a lot on Leilani and then left the kids there knowing. Listen, absolutely. Rizzo, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The children were not on the eviction papers. I see you. Can you email me these eviction papers? Because I want to look at that. Because I want to try to make sense of it. Well, if, this is the thing as well. Billy Joe knew that Leilani was a mess, right? But yet she continued to let Leilani stay there, live comfortably, and do drugs. But I also believe maybe where Leilani got it from, kind of wrapped up in the generation addiction kind of thing, is from her mother. Why does Billy Joe keep changing the story after first saying Leilani told her that she put him in jail, but on her first interview she said that Leilani lies? Well, I mean, she was saying, to be fair to Billy Joe, she said that on her first that that she on her first interview she said yes, Leilani was lying, but she was referring that Leilani was lying about Quentin's father, that she knew Quentin was never going to to come there and get him. So that was that. However, on thank you, Erica, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Um, but and then she said Leilani told her that she put him in a landfill. They both can be true. I mean, we know Leilani lies, right? I mean, it's pretty well given. Quentin's father never came to get him. Yes, exactly. She's a mother who enables her children. She does. She absolutely enables her children. Yes. Um, the 3 children was on the. I thought. Let me see if I see you sent that to me yet, because I believe they were on that eviction paper. To be fair, email here. Oh, hey. My Patreon, who is in Scotland, or I think it's Scotland. I don't know, not Scotland. Maybe not Scotland. They've been trying to get a hold of me. And like I try to call back, but it won't let me call back. So if you could email me, I would appreciate it. So I can figure out how to way to talk to you. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. You know, this is the thing. We can still have a lot of passion and we can still make a statement. But I do understand as well that when you are in that mess, like you're right there and you see, this woman just like basking out and, going to restaurants and everything like that, it kind of gets to you. It kind of does piss you off a little bit, but we still have to be able to got to hold yourself. Thank you, Brett, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you. Hello, Mallory. Let me see if it's in my. I see you. Did you send it? Sometimes it goes. Okay, yeah, she did. Okay. All right, let's look at this because I want to see something. Thank you, I see, for sending this. This was filed September 8th, 2022. So that, let's just say it was a month prior to baby Quentin leaving. It's a little blurry even on my end. Okay, personally appeared Billy Joe Howe, plaintiff affidavit, who up on oath says that she is attorney at law, attorney in fact, agent for the owner of the subject premises indicated above, that the defendant is in possession as tenant of these premises in Chatham County. Affiliate declares that under the penalty of perjury that the defendant is not okay. The affidavit is executed pursuant to the Soldiers and Sailors Civil Rights Act 50 U.S.C. as required by any judgment. Okay. All right. That the tenant fails to pay rent therein. That the tenant is holding premises over and beyond the terms of which the same were rented or leased. That the tenant is a tenant and okay. That the tenant has violated the terms. Okay. Now, the day or the answer that she doesn't have it here, but she did get it notarized. Okay, and the plaintiff is Leilani and Daniel. Okay, now there's another one that I need to show you, which was more important. Leilani and Daniel. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Let me find. Okay, I see you. Neither one of those was the. I'm looking for the one, maybe it's a police report or something. I don't remember which one it was. It was where she's like, I just want them out. I don't want anything. I just want them out. That one. You remember that one? Uh, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at now. Here we go. This one, personally, no, I already showed this one, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for the one I see you. It's of the one where hold on, Connie just sent me some stuff. Thank you, Connie. All right, let's look at this one and see if this one's it. Thank you, Connie, for doing that. All right. This is default order for paternity. Okay, this is where she was doing the child support. Okay. Fees under the. And this was filed on October 5th, the day before Quentin went missing. Do you guys think that this could be any sort of motive in why Leilani did this? Put a 1 if you think the child support could be a reason why she did this. Put a 2 if you don't, please. Okay. Oh, thank you, Rizzo's wife, just saying hi, and Billy Joe is now a mod on Chair's channel. Okay. Thank you, Rizzo. Okay. I'm seeing the star means you are a member of the channel. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys something here in a little bit, and I think sleep deprivation it could be. Now, I will say that many times when you're on, I was thinking about this morning while I was getting ready, actually, 5 o'clock this morning. I thought, as on my mother's grave, like I've never done Coca-Cola, if you get my drift. Never done it in my life. However, I have talked to a friend who has done it, and he used to be a lot. He used to do it a lot. And he told me that you would be up for freaking days at a time. And then he's like, you would want sleep so bad, but you couldn't sleep. You would just like pray for sleep after a while. Now, and then he said, once it wore off, you crashed, and you crashed hard, and you slept for like 2 or 3 days straight. So I was thinking to myself, Leilani likes a lot of Coca-Cola. You know, a little Coca-Cola, right? Keep it YouTube friendly. But could it be that they were on this binge and that it wore off and that she just went to sleep, they just crashed. and then something happened in the home. Something horrific happened. Yes, Justin, up for days, wind down, sleep. Yes. Now, I was looking today on the main reasons. It does also enhance your anger. Yes, it does, Fine Summer. I was looking at the main reasons why mothers KILL their children. Thank you, Camille. You have an email totally off subject. Just check it when you can. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Camille. You're appreciated. The baby could have took. Yes, that is true. That's possibility. No, she would have called the law if it was an accident. You see, Judy, I disagree. I disagree because, when you've been out for damn 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, or whatever, and something happens to your kid, if it is an accident, just an accident, 90% of the time, parent almost all the time, the parents call because it had nothing to do with them. Had nothing to do with them. But if there is some way that the parent can get in trouble, meaning if she was up for days, she crashed, the kid got into DRUGS, then she is culpable of that. It hurts her directly. You get what I mean? Now, there is different way. Let me look at this document, and then I'm going to pull up something for you guys, and we're gonna hatch it out, and we're going to learn a lot together. Do you think the bathtub story? Not particularly. No, I don't really believe the bathtub story. From what the caregiver said, the kid slipped out to play in a ditch and in the pool, so that might have happened, and there was an accident. The pool, you see, they could be using. I don't like conspiracies, never been into them or anything like that. But to me, they're saying give them a bath when when it actually means pool. Could it mean pool? Like, oh, he got in the pool instead of the bathtub. Are me and Marissa still planning to go? I have every intention of going. But if things, like, I really want things to calm down. We all have to calm down. We just got to calm. And it's no shade toward anybody. We just have to calm down, because when things get heated, things are said, things are done, things get crazy. And that we lose every sort of rationale. We lose the message. We lose it all. Now, I think it's absolutely horrible that, they're out there, continuing to party and going to these restaurants and stuff. I mean, they have been. They have been. Yeah. Oh, did someone gift some memberships? Thank you, whoever gift memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes. I do wish, I really wish Billy Joe would at least get Leilani away, because I do believe she wants to know. Like, Leilani should have been locked up years ago. Small town girl says, "Thank you, small town girl. Appreciate it." Um, I really think law enforcement messed up when her named her a prime suspect and was not planning on arresting her. I think you're right. I absolutely think you're right. I think they should not have named her a prime suspect unless they were getting ready to arrest her. Because that it's harder to be, out and, knowing that you're pretty much a baby killer, right? Justin, did the custody agreement come before the election or after? What does the election have to do with it? I don't know. Billy Joe can't turn on Leilani because if she turns on Leilani, she's going down herself. I've thought that as well. BJ cries for her grandson and guilty daughter. I think Billy Joe is going to have so much guilt for the rest of her life for many, many, many reasons. Lap Mama, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your membership. Listen, clearly, if you have two children who commit murder, there is a problem in your family. There's a problem. Now, I don't know what the problem is in their family. I would probably say drugs. That would be my theory. I mean, I would say probably drugs. And I would ask Leilani, what did Quentin need saved from? She said in that interview, "Oh, Quentin could be out with somebody. Maybe they know maybe they know he needed saved." Well, let me tell you something, Leilani. I don't know of many kids or mothers that say they needed saved, because a mother is supposed to protect their children, not be saved from their mother. But in your case, that's true. She did needed to be saved, or he needed to be saved from you. Hold on, where was that? I saw that comment. Justin did the eviction notice. Okay, sorry. I read that wrong. I'll check that. Let me check that in 1 second. Now, what's worse is Billy Joe knew that these kids were not safe with their own mother. But yet she did take custody of the kids and tried to save them, because she knew Billy Joe knew Leilani was a mess. But I think later she wore down. Maybe because, Billy Joe was out making money and had to work. But either way, she should have made arrangements or not work at all. Stay at home. Let your husband work. If you have to take care of your grandkids. Now, let me tell you something. Nowadays, there's just as many, I think, grandkid or grandparents taking care of their grandkids as there is parents, unfortunately. But that's the thing. And I think, I think maybe Billy Joe was on the road so much that she really missed out on a lot, a lot. And I think she wanted the entire package. She still wanted her grandkids. She still wanted she still wanted her daughter, but then they would fight and they would call the cops, but then it was good, but then it was bad. But I think at the end of the day, if you take custody of your grandkids, you have to make sure that they are okay. Now, to be honest with you, I do think Billy Joe knew that her daughter was a screw up. But I also don't think Billy Joe thought that her daughter was capable of killing a child either. But now in my opinion, I mean, she's not convicted. She's not even arrested yet. But I think it's safe to say that majority of people think she did it, meaning Leilani. As far as in the eyes of public opinion. Arrested? No. Convicted? No. Charged? No. There's so many reasons knowing Leilani. You know, was she mad because she had to pay child support? Did she lose her mind when she was on drugs? Was she hallucinating? You can be up for so long you hallucinate. You can sleep for hours. And something can happen to the child. That's that. I'm going to pull up a little slideshow in a minute. You know how I like my slideshows. But let's look at this. Order of paternity and child support. So this is for the child support, and this is dated 10/5/22. I want to see. Okay, this is the photo I was looking for. Hold on. Let me find it. That was 10/5/22. And this is the one I was looking for, the warrant information sheet. And this is dated September 8th. I'm pretty sure it's September. Yeah, September 8th, 2022. And this is not looking to be compensated, just want them to move out as quick as possible. Leilani Simon is my daughter, 22 years old, with her boyfriend and 3 kids. They have damaged my property. At this point, no one is living in peace. Not looking to be compensated, just want them to move out as quick as possible. Billy Joe Howell. Right? So this is September 8th. When did she get custody? When did she get custody? What was that? Now, the child support, the default order for paternity and child support is 10/5/2022. Let me look at this. Okay. September 8th. The income deduction order is made effective. Okay. So the document never made sense. If Billy Joe's custody of kids, how can she evict the child that is responsible? That's exactly right. Now we've got this too. Let me show you this. And this is from September 8th. And it says the defendant was served with process and waived process and failed to appear. The defendant waives service and consents to the jurisdiction and venue of the court. Generic testing is not required in this case. A paternity has been previously established. The parent are married and no one is rebutted to the presumption. The named father signed acknowledgement and paternity and does not wish to undergo testing. The defendant is the biological mother of the children. Paternity testing was conducted, resulting in a probability of paternity and greater of 99% of the minor children named in plaintiff complaint and listed below. Check. Defendant is the mother of the minor children and the plaintiff's complaint and listed children below. Children's name: Quentin Simon Zane Wharton. Income and guidelines. The order incorporates by specific reference the court's own worksheet and schedules along with any of the findings of facts made of them. If they were fully set forth herein, worksheets are scheduled and submitted by the following check that apply: DCSS. So Department of Children and Social Services. Is that what it stands for, right? Income was imputed by the following person: father, mother. Check, check. The court finds that the above persons are capable of earning at least a minimum wage. The court finds that the monthly gross income of the father is $1,257 and the monthly gross income of the mother is $1,257. Okay, reason for the deviation of the guidelines. Unless otherwise noted below, all reasons are okay of the following worksheet. The court did not deviate from the presumptive child support amount or okay. So it's all right. So this was from the 5th. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I mean, does it make sense to you? Am I missing something? Hold on, what was that? Babysitter said she was meant to have them if Billy not there, but Billy changed her mind to give daughter a chance. I believe that. I believe the babysitter. I do believe the babysitter when she says that. I think when it was good with Billy Joe and Leilani. And when it was bad, it was equally bad. So how do they both I think they worked at the same place or they just cut the income in half. Maybe, I don't know. Addiction and mental health definitely I believe so. If it does, if BJ didn't take DCSS was getting them. Was he was harmed that very night. He was harmed that very night or the next day, right? It's so weird to me. How can they both be from the 5th? Well, let me look at this again. So the child support is for, I mean, it says it right here. Let me show you. Let me zoom it in as much as I can. All right, look right here. 10 5 22. 10 5 22. 11:49 a.m. See? Quentin Simon, plaintiff, versus Leilani Simon, defendant. That's interesting to me. It says Quentin Simon. Could she have been pissed off because it says that? Just that alone? Quentin Simon? It's just interesting that it says Quentin Simon. That's the thing, Lizzie. I was addicted for years with 4 children. Never was that a thought. That's the thing. And I want to make clear the studies that I was reading today, most, even the biggest pieces of crap parents, or even the any parents, it doesn't matter if you're drug addicted or what, most parents never kill. It doesn't matter if they're on drugs or not, but there are exceptions. Babysitter last saw Quentin the 5th at 4:30 p.m. So, see, I just think there's something up with this thing. Now, let me show you. Let me see if I can find my studies here. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on 1 second. All right. Let's talk about the reasons why parents kill their children. Why do parents kill their children? American psychiatrist Philip Resnick in 1969 developed 5 main categories that are still in use today. 5. 5 main reasons people kill their kids. Okay. Filicide is a parent who murders a child. That is what it's called. A parent kills a child because they believe it's in the child's best interest. Example, to relieve the suffering of a disabled or an unwell child, or because the parent is planning on the S word and does not want to leave them parentless. Okay. Acutely psychotic filicide. A parent who is experiencing psychosis kills the child with no other rational motive. Mental illness, drugs, or stress can be part of it, or it can just be just because, no rhyme or reason. Acutely psychotic filicide. A parent who is experiencing psychosis kills the child with no other rational motive. Unwanted child filicide. The parent kills the child because they are unwanted or considered a burden, or perhaps because their partner does not want children. That would be Lori Vallow, yes, though. Uh, okay. Accidental. Can you see this? Okay. Accidental or child maltreatment filicide. The parent unintentionally kills the child as a result of abuse or overzealous discipline, meaning you spanked a child too hard or whatever, you hit the child, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming, and you eventually, there's so much damage done in such a long, over a long period, something can happen to the child. This one is called spousal revenge filicide. The parent kills the child to enact revenge on their spouse in a deliberate attempt to make them suffer. I can't see what I'm saying. Perhaps after infidelity or separation. Okay. So that one is more like, oh, I'm getting back. I'm going to get back at you for something. You did this to me. Well, I'm going to make you suffer too. That's what it is. Yes, postpartum. Postpartum is one, but that would be under, I forget which one. Oh, it's a couple one back. This one, the acutely psychotic filicide. Okay. Another difficulty is that, let me see if I can make this a little smaller. Another difficulty is that the cases of filicide are very diverse, each the result of a unique set of circumstances, risk factors that merge in different ways in different perpetrators' lives. There is one thing. The vast majority, 82%, have a history of family violence, but often the risk of that violence is to a child, meaning uh, meaning it's not just domestic DV, it's also violence against someone of youth. Not all filicide are preceded by violence and abuse. Many are associated with psychotic episodes or severe depressive disorders. More often, those preparated by women, and sometimes they raise more questions than answers. The majority of victims, 67%, were younger than 5, with more boys killed than girls, and infants younger than 1 are at the greatest risk. So I thought that was interesting. 67% are younger than 5 years old, 5 years or younger. And for some reason, it's usually boys. More, not usually, it's more likely than boys. And infants younger than 1 are at the greatest risk. And that is generally because they haven't created much of an attachment. Thank you, SEU. They haven't created as much of an attachment. Where was it? But slightly more filicide perpetrators overall are men, ironically. 52% children were most commonly killed by custodial mothers, 133 victims, followed by custodial fathers, 82 victims. This is a study. And stepfathers, 41 victims, while 28 victims were killed by non-custodial parents, all but 1 of whom were fathers. 1 in 5 offenders died by the S word after filicide. The DCSS thing is, I learned a lot about that today, and in these cases, it's really hard to know whether someone is going to actually kill their kid. It just common factors associated with mothers who kill children are mental illness, being a victim of DV, and paternal separation. Domestic violence, have a history of drug abuse and a criminal record. That's okay. This is an interesting case right here. Only months earlier, in April 2016, Fijian-born woman Sophia, I don't know her last name, killed her 15-month-old daughter, Sanaya, who was found in a creek in Melbourne, somewhere in Australia. At first, Sophia told police a man of African appearance had snatched Sanaya from her pram, meaning her stroller. That's what they call prams. But 3 days later, she confessed to the killing, telling detectives she believed her daughter was possessed, that she would be in a better place, and that she would be in a better place. Very much like Lori Vallow, right? After pleading guilty to infanticide, uh, Miss Nagat, I guess that's your pronoun, was sentenced to a 12-month community corrections order in 2017, with Justice Lex describing the killings as a tragedy for her and everyone connected to her family. The Supreme Court had previously heard Miss Nagat, who was living in a woman's refuge at the time of the killing. She had been suffering from a depressive disorder following the child's birth, made worse by her separation from her husband and the stress from raising her baby. The complexity of the mental state of some women after childbirth and for some time thereafter is not to be underestimated. Justice Lassery said in sentencing, particularly when it is made more difficult by the surrounding circumstances which occurred in your case. Now, here's where they kind of made a makeshift little memorial with, thank you, Beagle Mom. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it. But this is where they like made the memorial. But I was thinking, maybe Leilani, she just had a baby, right? She's just had, I mean, even though Quentin was a baby, right? He was a baby, but she just had a baby. Could she have been going through some postpartum mixed with drugs, mixed with stress, and something snapped? But anyway, this talks about how the child was taken to a 12-month-old checkup. The doctor screened her, um, the child, and the child came back, fine, and everything came back. But she wasn't screened for postnatal depression, despite significant changes to her relationship and living circumstances. As a result, she recommended the frequency of well-being and checks by maternal health services to occur at least once a year for the first 2 years after birth of a child. She also recommended DHHS update its guidelines to which with steps to contact mothers and administrators postnatal depression screening of their personal circumstances. But it's not clear if any changes have been made. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Data suggests that most murders of children under 12 years old are committed by mothers. So if you're 12 and younger, you have a greater chance of being killed by your mother. If you're 12 or older, fathers. Fathers. Now, mothers, filicide is committed by using more of a hands-on method, if you get my drift. Mothers are more likely to use their hands, and by killing a child, such as shaking, manual battering, suffocating, or drowning. And some indicate methods such as arson or drowning while the children are asleep or sedated. In cases of parental filicide, fathers are more likely to use methods such as striking, squeezing, stabbing, and they are also more likely than women to use weapons. Suffocation, strangulation, and drowning are the most common methods used to kill neonates. So that's just a few facts on filicide, just like you said. So, all right. Well, I'm going to my phone is blowing up. Oh my God, I just got an alert. 6 people shot outside Northside Church funeral service. God, you can't even go to a funeral anymore without getting killed? Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. It's a very nice comment. Thank you. We got to get in the psychology of how people think, what makes them think this way, what makes them tick, to understand a little bit better. I'll turn my phone on, and if anybody wants to call, I'll put my number up. All right. Phone lines are open. 307-228-4906. Let me put the number up here on the banner. There we go. All right, there you go. If anybody wants to call in, if they have question, comment, concern, this happened in Chicago a year ago. It's like crazy. Everyone's lost their mind. 662, thank you for calling.
Hey, Dustin, it's Camille. How are you?
Hello, my love. I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. Those were very staggering, and those numbers of that study, but I'm like you. I think that it was, or I feel like there was so many different aspects with Leilani that she really just couldn't be put in one box. She may have, since her mother and her had so many arguments, she may have still had abandonment issues, postpartum, for sure. I don't think that we talk about postpartum as much because people feel like it's got a stigma to them, like like you've got something wrong or you're going to do something wrong. But
yes.
You've got so many hormonal changes that happen, and I've heard even to the point of that menopause or your two big, huge hormonal changes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when you're pregnant, everybody's like, how are you? How are you feeling? How are you? Well, when you have a baby, when I look at you,
right.
I don't to say, how are you
anymore.
It's just so much goes, along with that. But I feel like, and like you said, the abuse that always, will come out in some way, whether you use substances to try to mask it or you act it out. It's just, there's so many that you could apply to her, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. And no, it's fun. I just think of, was it, what, you're going to have to pay money, and she was mad and she was pissed off, and she did something that night. I'm going to show you, Mom. You know,
Right.
I
Do
don't
you
know.
know, did Zane's dad, did he pay any
I don't think any of them
company?
paid much of anything.
Any?
I mean,
Okay.
none of them.
Obviously she was with Sky's dad at the time, but I just wonder if, what, but I mean, if you're doing substances or whatever, I could definitely see her being in the mindset of, well, you even being jealous to the point of, Mom, you care more about him than you did me.
Yeah.
Why? It's just, you just see it so much, and it's true. Like I have always said, the dad, the daughter relationship, always, like, my dad was not around. I was more or less raised by my stepfather, but I knew he was my stepfather, and my dad I met, I knew who he was, but he lived in Houston, Texas, to where I'm 12 hours away from him. And I always felt like I wasn't good enough, like, if I couldn't fix whatever problem was going on with him and Mom, I thought I was supposed to have been the fix, and I wasn't good enough, so I let him down. So then every male I chose, it was always a problem. I was just trying to get acceptance,
Yeah.
trying for somebody to show me I was good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just so, I mean, it's so important to to hopefully you have friends or a friend, or somebody that's close to you that you can talk about it to, because you it is gonna always come out to something like this if you don't address what's holding you back, bothering you, what that is that's breaking your heart, to make you do these certain things, and deal with it, feel the pain, and then let it go, and break the cycle, or you're just going to be some version of the same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yes.
Unless you say, no, I'll never be like that. I won't do that to my kids, and you recognize it and flip flop. But with her age, she's so young. I think that's something we think about later in life. I mean, like, I've forgiven my dad, my mom. I mean, it's just I've dealt with it. It's over. I had a great set of grandparents that that were there for me. But I don't know. Like I said, this is that one that's just, I just, you're right. I don't know if we'll ever have a clear cut reason, but maybe if nothing else, it'll draw awareness to, you know, I mean, people have got to be thinking, if this happened the way that we all pretty much know it did, or know who did it, that, hey, that mom has two children in jail for the same thing. That this cycle's got to be broken. We got to be different with our kids,
Absolutely.
and everything. It's just, it's a hard balance. And I know I was 20 years old when I had a player, and she kind of had to grow up with me. I felt bad about saying it that way and everything, but I was just so young to be a parent. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, and I know I made a lot of mistakes, but she was always first, for me.
Absolutely.
She was that first thing that I did right, is what I felt like when I first held her. That's that first thing, that I felt like I truly did right.
Oh wow. I mean,
But yeah, I
listen.
feel like we need to our friends that we know that have had babies and stuff. We need to check on them. Are you okay? How are you feeling? And things like that, without just,
Actually caring.
not being about the baby.
Yeah. Broken
Yeah.
arrow. Um. There's a story coming in right now. Oh my God. This is going to be a bad one, guys. Thank you, Fluffy, for sharing that. Listen to this, guys. Murder S. Investigation underway after 2 adults, 6 children found dead in Oklahoma.
It's just constant. It's this world. I think God is very mad at us.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he would have to
So we
be.
would just, we have absolutely quit putting other people's needs, as high as we used to,
Time for gratitude rating and gift cards.
Yeah.
Only at Lucky Star
I'll let
Casino.
you get to that. I know
Okay.
other people wanted to call in, but yeah, definitely. I think we just gotta, kind of try to be there for our friends that have had kids and kind of notice the things, the cycles that need to be broken before
Amen,
we lose control.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, my love. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Love you, honey.
Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye. I love Miss Camille. I'm going to play this real
Investigators
quick.
are still on scene 24 hours later, but really what I want to show you is the damage to the front of this home. Investigators say the main fire was actually in the back of the home where the children were found. They also say they don't believe the children died from the fire, but they did recover guns from inside the home.
This is an extremely difficult time for our city and our departments.
A gruesome crime scene in an Oklahoma neighborhood.
To arrive on scene yesterday and see the looks on our first responders, my firefighters' faces, just absolutely broke my heart.
It started out as a call about a fire on Hickory Avenue in Broken Arrow, just southeast of Tulsa. The fire crews quickly realized it was a crime scene.
And immediately we found 2 adults in the front of the house with significant injuries, and they were obviously deceased.
So they called the Broken Arrow Police Department to help investigate. As they were doing search and rescue efforts, they made the discovery of 6 young children in a separate room where the main fire was.
We have 6 juvenile victims, ranging in ages from 1 to 13 years old. We have 2 adult suspects deceased, being investigated as a murder-suicide.
Police say the 2 adults are the prime suspects in this case because of where they were found and where the children were.
At this time, we do not believe that any of the victims died from the fire. However, the final determination for the cause of death will be made by the medical examiner.
And of course, this is an ongoing investigation. They also say the ATF is also involved. But guys, coming up tonight at 5, we actually spoke with a neighbor who say this left the neighborhood devastated. In Broken Arrow, Megan Mosley, KOCO 5 News.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, you guys can call back now. I turned off the lines for a second. As an adult, you have to make a choice. As an adult, you should suffer the consequences for the choices you make. Bottom line to it, hold people accountable for what they do wrong. Absolutely. That's crazy. Devastating. I mean, 6 kids. This is the thing. Everybody feels out of place at some point in their life. Everyone feels not normal sometime in their life. But the thing is, that is normal. What is not normal is when you don't get help for feeling that way, because there is a reason why you feel this way. It could be mental illness. It could be something happening in your life. It could be, multiple reasons. But never, just always get help. Always get help. As long as you don't harm anybody, you're not too broken to be fixed. You're never too broken to be fixed. Now, you harm a child, you take somebody's life, you're never going to fix that, because that you cannot change those things. She was a corrections officer. Wow. I don't know, but this thing with Leilani and Billy Joe, like, I want to be out there protesting and stuff, but I can't handle a lot of craziness. Everyone could use someone to talk to. Been clean 10 years. I still see a therapist twice a month. Me too, Lizzie. Congratulations. 480, thank you for calling.
Hello, Justin.
Hello, dear.
Hi, this
How?
is Suzanne from Hemet, California.
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm not getting much sleep with all this. I've been watching YouTube 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I just, it's. I want to say it's addicting, but it is addicting.
Yeah.
The one thing before I forget that I wanted to share with you is there is a paper that's handwritten from Betty Sue that when she went in to get the eviction,
Uh-huh.
it's on a handwritten piece of paper, and she states that she wants all her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend and all 3 kids out of the house.
Yes. I just read that earlier. Yeah.
I know earlier you were struggling to find that.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody sent to me thing.
I feel like I've been right there with them because I've been watching the protests, and I agree with you. I feel that it's kind of gotten away from Clinton and gotten people have kind of lost their tempers.
Yeah.
Including our team.
Of course.
But, I know that they'll get a hold of themselves. I guess today the thing that just put the icing on the cake was the signs. I mean, come on. Okay, so getting back to Clinton and your question about what you've been talking about. I don't think that she that had anything to do with the child support, or she would have done both kids.
Well, this is the thing. Not necessarily, because and everyone says this that I've talked to that knows them. They have said that she was way closer to Zane, her firstborn.
So she was willing to pay $100 for the one child.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances around it,
Yeah. Well, that was my thought with that. And one other thought is, okay, as far as this is my gut feeling about the whole situation. I feel the mom, Betty Sue, is that her name? Is it Betty Sue?
Billy Joe.
Billy Joe. Okay. She's a very, very controlling woman. And I guess she's a very hard woman, and I guess maybe her life has caused her to be that way. And, her kids were taken away, so she was boundly determined that she was going to keep the kids in the family. And when all this came down with her daughter, she, decided within herself that she would take custody so that her daughter wouldn't lose custody, because she knew how it felt to lose custody of her kids. And she felt like, her daughter would get better because the mother is an addict too. It's not just her daughter. They're all thinking that they can control their drug abuse, but you can't. And it just got out of hand. And I seriously think that the grandmother was involved with it, at least to clean it up. Whatever happened,
Yeah.
I think she knows more than what she's admitting.
Yeah, I believe, Linda, I think you're right. I obviously think Billy Joe was a lot more sad over, Quentin's death than Leilani is by far, personally.
Oh, yeah.
I think Leilani is more worried about saving her ass at this point. I think, I mean, she's just
Well, and
screwed up.
yeah. Well, and her mother is what's it called when you're an alcoholic, but you can still perform? What's that called?
Mm.
You know what I'm trying to say? Where you can still hold down a job and still a functioning.
Functioning,
Her
yeah.
mother is a functioning addict.
Uh-huh.
The daughter is not. The daughter is messed up. And if she's blacking out, and I've been clean and sober for over 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what got me to that point was I woke up one morning and I had a big dent in my car, and I didn't know how it got there. So I know what it is to black out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't black out and then remember something else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
I don't.
Black out and remember another lie. I don't buy that for a minute.
No.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Linda, he was the only one on the court papers. That is true. I noticed that. That's what I was talking about earlier. Quentin was the only one on the court papers, which I didn't make sense. Emil
And
said.
what court papers?
On the here, I think I've got it pulled up somewhere.
On the child?
Yes.
No, it was both kids were on the child support.
No, let me find it. Hold on.
Because the older child and Quentin were the ones that she had in her custody. The mom, the grandma.
No, I'll show you.
Because it said something about one would be 100 and two would be 150.
Let me find it. Hold on.
And it's okay if you call me by another name. My name's Suzanne.
Suzanne. Okay, sorry, Suzanne. What do I call you? I don't remember what I call.
That'll be rude, Deborah.
Sorry. Where is that? No.
You got so many things going on in your head, it's hard to keep it all
Oh
straight.
my God, it is.
What would you do without ICU?
I would go nuts.
You crack me up between ICU. Say, excuse me.
Yes.
You got to go deal with your kids.
Yes. It's a lot to be in my world, I'm telling you that. Okay, well this one it says Zane on it, but there's one that I saw that didn't say Zane. Maybe unless Zane is marked out.
I've been watching this one. I've been watching Dolly and
Betty
since they left their hometown. So I haven't. I've been watching you. If you know, in between them, and I'm almost positive that it's both of them on there.
Yeah, this one it is on there, but there is one that I saw earlier. I don't know. I'll have to find it. Well, anyways, thank you for calling. You want to say something else? Go ahead. Go ahead. Say something else. Go ahead.
Has there been another press conference?
Betty wanted me to come up earlier, and I did come. I did come up earlier, but she was so she was so busy and things were going on. I sat there for like 10 minutes, and I was like waving at her and everything, but she didn't. She didn't.
I scanned the channels before I took a nap, and I didn't see anything on there. It's kind of probably, they're going to take a couple of days off. I would want, I don't agree with her on that regard. They've even said that these.
I see what it is.
People need to take a couple of days off because of the fumes and
Quentin
the
Simon.
sicknesses they can get from being out there.
Yeah.
But
They've got Zane's name redacted here for some reason. That's what it was. Okay. That's what it was. Where did Dolly go live? He was live earlier today when all of that stuff was going down.
I was watching it.
Yeah, I had my phone started blowing up, and it's like something's going on. So
does it bother you? And then I'll let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's plenty of other people that want to talk to you too.
Mm-hmm.
But does it bother you that nobody's mentioning the
other kids? I've said that. Yeah. Nobody. I mean, I don't hear Leilani. I don't hear Billy Joe. I don't hear anyone talking about their other kids. And
no, there should even be a sign. Thank goodness the other two kids' names are safe. Anything to put them out there. Even the babysitter's not mentioning. I'm surprised she has not mentioned the other kid's name.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
It's interesting to say the least, because I mean there's two other living kids, and one's a baby, so he doesn't really like know what's going on, like a baby, but Zane, he is old enough to know.
Oh, he knows, and he's the one that's going to have a hard time. And one more thing, I'm sorry, I don't get to text on my phone. The only way I can talk to YouTubers is to call in, so I apologize.
Oh no, it's fine.
And I don't have a lot of money I couldn't even donate because my phone won't let me donate. But,
no, I appreciate you just being here.
Things go through my mind that when they're talking about him being in a playpen,
a pack and play.
If you remember back when they've shown the picture of the boyfriend and his son or the other boy, the bigger boy, there's like 2 or 3 mattresses on the floor in their room. The kids are not confined when they're sleeping. They're all sleeping together in that room with the mom and the boyfriend.
Really?
Yes. Bring up when you got time, get the picture where the boyfriend is laying on the bed and there's a baby next to him. I don't know if it's the older child. It's not Zane. I mean, it's not Quentin. It may be Zane or it may be the other child, and he's sucking on a bottle. And they're laying on mattresses in their room. There's not room for playpen in there. They're all sleeping without being confined.
I don't remember seeing a picture of that, to be honest with you. But this is a pack and
Well, there
play for
is.
those that don't know.
Out there. I'm sure you've got it somewhere in your stuff.
Oh, thank you, Revenge. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Good day.
See,
Love you, Justin.
I could do something like that.
I think you're great. Thanks for the great work and coverage, matey. Oh, thank you, my love. You're gorgeous.
You guys have my prayers.
Thank you. We can always use those. Always use those. All right. Thank you. I've got people calling in, so I'm
Down
gonna.
there,
All right.
so you can calm these folks down.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna try. Okay. I'm trying. I'm asking for calm. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, honey. Thank you for calling. Yeah, I mean, I think we can, none of them will ever see the light of day of either. No, you're absolutely right, Misty. Nobody will. Like I get the outrage of Betty and Dolly. Trust me, I mean, I get the outrage. I don't want this to become something that we forget about Quentin. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, 423, thank you for calling.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, dear.
Thank you for all your work. I'm from Tennessee, so
Thank you,
I know where Savannah's at.
Yeah.
I think that Leilani, since she was snorting, Coca-Cola and was up all night, how can you be up all night and you've got a 4-month-old, 18-month-old, and a 3-year-old?
Yeah, and that's my question. How old is the baby? 3-4 months old, something like that?
I think they said 4 months.
Yeah. I mean,
but you're either not nursing, but you still got to get up and feed the baby.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. What time did she get up to feed these babies? You know what I mean? I mean, you're not going to sleep 9 hours with the 4-month-old. Listen, I had twins. I don't remember the first year. Okay.
I have one, and she's 35, and she's still a kid at heart.
Yeah.
And Leilani seems a lot like her, not growing up.
Yeah.
Even to be 22, I think is 22, 24. But I don't see her getting up early, period. And I don't see her working. They haven't mentioned where she worked at. But if she called out of work that morning, she had a lot of support in the house, but it looks like all of them were drug addicts.
Yeah.
And who was taking care of the kids?
Exactly. Who was taking care of the kids?
The grandparents was out of town. Boyfriend supposedly got up to go to work. He might have. I don't see her doing anything because she looks lazy, a drug addict, and it looks like she's been in and out of the criminal scene since she was very young.
Yeah.
I'm sort of leaning towards the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was up, not unless he warned her to get up. I don't know. It's just.
See, I'm not leaning toward the boyfriend personally.
Right.
Personally, I'm not leaning toward the boyfriend. I think there is a reason why they have just named Leilani as. Okay, dear, thank you. As the only person of interest or suspect, whatever you want to.
Yeah. Maybe she did it after he went to work, after they called the sitter, after he went to work. And that's why the 2-hour lap, or the, 2:45, 2 hours and 45 minutes lap, and the calling of the police. My daughter said that the grandmother called the police. I thought Leilani called. Do you know which one called them?
Who called the babysitter?
The police.
The
Yeah,
police.
no, the police.
Well, I mean,
No.
from what I have, what I understand, I mean, they weren't even calling the police when they called the babysitter, and the babysitter come over, and she's like, "Hey, has anyone called the cops yet?" So, oh
I
yeah,
think the only
kid's
reason
been
my
gone
mother
3 hours. I
and
think I might
grandmother
want to call the cops. You know.
Yeah, exactly. But the other thing is, I think the reason why the grandmother was trying to get custody, they made that whole thing up. And I think because grandma can get government assistance money and Leilani couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just a big hope to
It,
get extra money
possibly.
to fund their drugs because they would give Granny money from the government to help her raise them three.
Yeah. I mean, they would give him extra Leilani card, they're saying. Or I think that Billy Joe knew her daughter was kind of a screw up, and that
Yeah.
if she was just kind of getting ahead of maybe of CPS because
I don't see her letting the grandkids go with Leilani if she kicked them out.
well, like my best friend, she works for CPS, and she said we've seen that a lot where people will take, like, the grandparents will take custody of their children's kids or their family members' kids because they know otherwise,
Yeah.
that they're going to be
I
called
had a
eventually.
neighbor that raised each one of her three daughters. She had two kids by her oldest daughter, one by the other one, one by the other one. Now she's got two great grandbabies she's raising.
Yes,
She's took them all in, and it's like, what the,
Mm-hmm.
what are you thinking? That she don't hold them responsible. And the youngest one's out here on the street, and she's got her son, and she just runs the streets doing drugs, and it's just shameful.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to tell you how much I love you. I
Love you
all the
too,
time.
honey. Thank
And
you.
yes, I love Bullhorn Betty.
Thank you.
Sometimes I don't actually agree.
That's okay. That's
but
okay.
I love her. I watch her.
We
I've been
don't
watching her.
listen. We don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with me 100% of the time. Bullhorn Betty, Dolly, Marissa, and that's not, that's the thing that we lose in this world today. We think we have to agree with someone 100% of the time to still like them or respect them or something. We can not like someone for, we cannot agree with someone for a second. Like, trust me. Do you think I agree with my husband 100% of the time? Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
we're family also. So,
no,
yeah,
I
know where
mean,
you're coming from.
listen.
Lord,
That's life. We're not meant to agree
I love
100%
all
of
of
the time.
y'all because y'all do a great job and looking up these cases and taking them on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched all of you. Tito, the laundries, Summer Wells. That poor baby needs to be found.
Mm-hmm.
I did sign the petition last night. Did you see the petition to get Ronnie Lawson off?
Oh, really? No, I didn't see
It's
it.
on change.org.
Really? See, petitions,
Yeah.
they don't ever do anything, really, to be honest with you.
Right.
But
That's
it's a good
bullshit.
sentiment. He needs to be out. There's no doubt about that. Thank you for calling, my dear. I've got to get to some more calls here. So
I know
thank
it.
you.
God bless you.
God
Thank
bless
you for your
you.
work.
All right, appreciate you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Hold on one second, guys, please. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to agree with everything on everything. Listen, like I've, I protest differently than what Bullhorn Betty does, or Dolly, or Jonathan, or Marissa. I do it a little differently. In fact, when I go there, I have a plan of doing kind of a protest, kind of in memory of, kind of in honor of something that I wanted to do to make a statement that no words are said, but it takes 1 hour to do. So, voices, she ain't going anywhere. And if she does, I think, I don't think she'll go. I don't think she'll go. Yeah, if she tests positive in the hospital, how was she even allowed to take? That's another thing. These kids were addicted. They were born addicted. We know this. I'm surprised they weren't like taken away then, or some type of CPS investigation. Just saw where all Dolly's live got struck and was taken down. I'm sure it was taken down because of all the colorful language, and there was, by YouTube standards, considered violence. So I need 8 more thumbs up for 500 likes. 500. Can I get 500? Exactly. I don't think that's what will happen later. Yeah. No rest yet. And I think we're all kind of pissed off that Leilani isn't arrested. And I get the frustration of people, protesters getting arrested when a baby murderer is not getting arrested and murdered her own kid, allegedly. I see a lot of Eliza. Oh, thank you, Misty. Thank you. You're very sweet. Thank you, my dear. Yes. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Most men looks over a child when they go to work. They don't go put their hands on their yeah. That's true. That's true. I don't know about you, but I get up multiple times a night and check my kids still. Multiple times a night. I'm a helicopter parent, to say the least. Casey Anthony had many protesters and it did nothing. She got off scot-free, I hope. This is the thing. Do I think protesting is going to make Leilani admit fault? No, I don't. And that's not what I'm going there for. I don't think, personally, I don't think it makes anybody admit anything whatsoever, personally. But it does make a statement, a social statement, that people care about this kid, have a grievance. It puts an uncomfortableness, I guess, for the family and it makes, if you're not going to be comfortable at home when your kid is laying there in a trash bin. By the hands of Leilani, in my opinion. My kids check on me now. Sandy, God bless you, honey. But, if I do something, I want to be of service to something. Whether it's making a statement, getting Quentin's name put out there. When I do something, I always try to remember, how am I going to be remembered for that when I'm old or tomorrow? Sometimes I get it wrong. A lot of times I get it wrong, but I try to always keep that in my head. How am I going to be remembered? And this is the thing. This kind of goes in the history books as far as true crime history books, right? It's like the people that was at Casey Anthony's. That was a mess. Casey Anthony's was a mess. I think the Casey Anthony's dad got in a fight or almost got in a fight with someone out there. It was really bad. They almost went to blows. And I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, how did you act when you were there? How are you going to be remembered? That kind of thing. I support protesting. I use my, I protest and use my constitutional right when I feel like I need to. But I don't want to make it, I don't want to get so frustrated that I make it about my feelings, just how I feel about the person on the other side of the caution tape, on, the other side of the wall, that kind of thing. So I want it to be, let's remember little Quentin, that his life mattered, that he was here for a short time, and hopefully something of this will bring change, whether it's, a law, something, right? Mint Mama, if you can give her my email, that would be great. Or one of the mods. To be honest, I've never been a part of one. I'm all showing an somewhat EX law enforcement. I think what you're doing is brilliant. Oh, thank you very much, my love. Thank you. Yes, loved him in his dash. That's right. But I don't want to make it. I want full justice for Quentin. Full justice. 520, thank you for calling. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Penny. Benny from Arizona.
Hey, Benny.
Hi. My heart is just broken.
Very sad, huh?
I just don't know how to feel. You know, these protesters out there, I don't know how to feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the whole thing. You know, we don't have any confirmation of anything. How did this happen? Why did this happen? Do we know anything? Do we have any evidence?
I mean, do we have any evidence we have evidence as in, um, law enforcement saying that, they believe Leilani is the one and the only suspect, and there's no reason to believe that he's been kidnapped or sold or anything like that. We have reason to believe evidence as far as uh, Leilani's own mother saying that Leilani admitted to um, killing her child, and I can't imagine Billy Joe ever lying about something like that. We have Billy Joe saying that, and her stepfather saying, we think Leilani is a liar on, national television, that she did not call her. She knew that little Quentin's dad did not take um, little Quentin in any form or fashion. So, we have that. Um, if if that's what you mean.
You know, and I know that's what we have, but is that proof and evidence? I'm not siding with Leilani or
Mhm.
Billy Joe whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But we have zero. Actually, if you really look at this, we have zero.
If you're looking for a magnifying glass and luminol, yeah, that's true. We have, yes.
What we need to see is the proof that this is, I think, where we need confirmation is that Leilani took something to a dump at the trailer park.
Absolutely.
We need to see that. That's
Mhm.
what we need to see.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else is hearsay.
Yeah, I agree.
Even that's hearsay. She could have said dumping drugs. Oh, they're going to come to my house and they're going to, scope out my house because my son is missing. So let's dump the drugs.
Well,
We don't know what
people normally flush the drugs. They don't drive 2 miles down the road and throw.
Usually, I agree with you on that.
I'm just saying.
But we don't know. We don't know how a drug addict thinks.
Well, 10 years ago, I was a drug addict, so I can tell you how I think. But,
Oh, okay. So you were? You were?
Yeah. A very private drug addict after a surgery, but yeah. Nonetheless,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it happens.
God bless you for, admitting that out loud.
Oh, I'm a huge supporter in rehabilitation. It's very possible. So yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I've been around the block with a lot of these cases, and I think Billy Joe, in my opinion, knows. She has said it, but she said it publicly. She said it privately. But I do believe that she knows, and she's just waiting.
Yeah.
She's just waiting. It's really a time game.
No.
I think in all of
This
our
woman,
minds.
no, she is the root of all the evil.
this woman is a sick piece of garbage.
You can tell that
The
Billy Joe's
mother-
even on drugs now. You can
The
tell.
mother is the one that escalated everything. I feel bad for her child. I mean, her daughter is a subject, she was manufactured. Leilani was manufactured by her mother.
Yeah.
Billy Joe produced all this.
I think Billy Joe now has tried to become a better person through a lot of time and effort, but I believe in her younger years, she was just like Leilani, and Leilani is now just like her mother was when she was younger, because you have to think, who was on drugs when she was younger? Billy Joe. To me, she still appears that she's on drugs. Who was prostituting? Billy Joe was. Who else is prostituting? Leilani, right? Who is going around and doing everything that Billy Joe did when she was younger, stealing, for instance, right? Allegedly,
Right.
even though it's on a record, but
Allegedly.
but so is Leilani. It's the cycle. It is just a cycle.
It is. It is a cycle. I mean, my gosh, it's so sad to watch this. If you have a brain in your head, you can see Billy Joe is the manufacturer, if that's the word.
Yeah.
She manufactured
Yes.
Leilani. She is the creator of Leilani.
I mean, when you have two kids that both end up murdering, something is really wrong, really wrong in that family.
Right. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. This is still. But I do not agree with these people being outside and yelling on the streets. I don't think that's correct.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't mind the yelling.
No.
But I don't. I think.
If you lived right there, would you mind the yelling? You lived right next door, and you were a taxpayer, and people were yelling and bullshitting.
I live three doors down by the mayor. Yeah.
Would you be okay with that, though?
Yes.
What they're doing right now.
Listen.
Would you be okay with that?
I think that the message has gotten lost. I mean, personally, some of the things that said that I would never, ever, 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 ever say. I don't yell and scream and stuff like that, but I do believe in protesting. And I believe as an American, you have the right to protest whatever you want, whether I agree with you or not.
I agree.
This is the thing, because that is the whole encompassing idea of protesting is.
Well, yeah, that's a human right.
Right. Now, the things that are being said, some of the things through some of my best friends on YouTube are saying, you know what I mean, are saying, I would never say, and I'm comfortable with saying that out loud. I would never say or do some of the things that they do. It's not my style. But it is, so, but, I mean, it's really tough. And, this is exactly why I named my live, In the End, Nobody Wins. Nobody wins in this situation. Nobody wins.
I'm not even knowing that I'm on your program. I didn't even know you're on live. But nobody does win. Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Bless your heart, because nobody wins with this.
Nobody.
I want to follow you. What's your channel?
It's Justice for All. Jade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like you. I
Thank
think
you.
you're really cool.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. But just nobody wins in this situation, and it's
No, nobody. So your channel's called Nobody Wins.
no, my no, my channel's called Justice, the number or Justice, the number 4, and then ALL.
Justice for All. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll follow you then.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you calling.
All right, I'll let you go to the next call then.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
I love you.
Love you too. Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. It's very kind of her. It's just, this is a lose-lose situation. Billy Joe loses. She's lost her son. The son and another guy. Think of the chain reaction in this. Billy Joe's son and another man, I think it was, killed a guy in the woods. They're in jail. Billy Joe loses her son. The guy that also killed the guy in the woods, the mother lost her son because they're in prison. They've lost him, more or less. More importantly, the victim is gone forever. They've lost their son, their brother, their uncle, whatever. Multiple ways. Now, Billy Joe has a daughter. The daughter allegedly kills her son. Billy Joe lost her daughter, her grandchild, right? Leilani's pretty much lost her life if she goes to prison, that is. And then it's just a cycle and a cycle. So much loss. Everybody loses. And the ones who pays the ultimate price is the victim. Little Quentin, he is the victim. And I hope everybody tomorrow, no matter how, listen, when I get angry, I get motivated. Yes, I saw that Michelle's going to thing tomorrow. If she does, she does. If she, I can't do nothing about it. Just everybody loses. And the other 2 babies that are alive, they lose too. Everybody loses. It's a casualty all the way around. And we lose too. We lose a baby, another baby in this cruel world. But nonetheless, a baby that could have cured cancer, that could create something magnificent, could have broken the cycle. Little Quentin could have been the one that broken the cycle. He doesn't get that chance. It's gone forever. And there's not enough justice here on earth that we can do to get him back. And that's what enrages people. That's what makes people so angry. And I get it with Betty's case and Dolly's case. I know that they care. I do know that they care. He was a victim of the cycle. I see you. I was hoping that he could be one that breaks the cycle. Maybe one of, hopefully both the kids that are in, in CPS care right now break it. I do know, and I don't agree with people calling them tragedy pimps or anything like that. I don't think that's fair, because I do think at the end of the day, people have to make money. It is what it is. I mean, if you are here, working and providing as much as you can, you have to pay the bills. I get that. So I don't think tragedy pimp is the right word personally. People can say that, go for it. But I don't think that's, in my opinion, that's not the right thing to say. I think everyone who does true crime at least has to have some passion to do true crime. For victims. And Beth, it's not money off of a baby. It's not that. I mean, this is the thing. If you think ABC, CBS, CNN don't make thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of dollars off of a story from advertisers, like if we get paid advertisers here on YouTube, it's just somebody paying us for a service, just like they do. So somebody's got to bring the story. Now, we can bring this story with boots on the ground, and you're going to see the blood, sweat, and tears of all of us. Or you can see a 2-minute clip at 5 o'clock. It's up to you. I mean, if you just want to see a 2-minute clip at 5 o'clock, that's great. That's what you can get. And they still make millions of dollars. So I don't think anybody's a tragedy pimp. I don't believe really anybody's a tragedy pimp. And the local news will not show the true story. They won't tell a lot of stuff. This is the way we do it on YouTube. It is. So if you like a 2 to 5 minute clip, you can see it at 5, 6, and 11 respectively. That's it. That is the news. Now, YouTubers do it a little bit differently. No one would be there live streaming to see what is going on for Bullfront, but that's why Court TV and some local stations have shown up. That is exactly right, Flowers for You. That's exactly right. And, I've heard people put in the chat that a group is coming and that a person is coming and stuff like that. Don't believe anything until you see it, that someone is coming or doing something. Don't believe it. It could all be 100% true. But until. Thank you, Revenge. One of the posters said they would work on her baby. One of the posters said they would work on her baby of 27 minutes and asked Leilani how long she worked on Quentin. She was very angry. Yeah, they are bringing attention to the case. Let me tell you something. As crappy as Summer Wells, some people has been, whether I agree with them or not, Summer Wells didn't make a lot of national attention. Did not make a lot of national attention. And it was a lot because of the media manager that they use. But the reason why the world really knows Summer Wells is because of YouTube. Thank you, Marie. I agree with that. I think she needs to confess and bring closure. 500 days, Scorpio, still. I did not say I wasn't going to the protests. No, I did not say that. I did not say that. I still plan on going. Now, if it continues to be crazy in the next couple days, like really crazy, I may reconsider or I may go down at a different time. I don't know. But I plan on going. Hopefully, a lot of times, there's a peak of heat. And then after everyone kind of gets that energy out, they start getting their mind back a little bit. And I don't mean, and I get we're disgusted that they are back there in the backyard playing music, drinking, drugging, acting like nothing happened, sitting in their lawn chairs laughing. I can't imagine doing that and having my 2 kids taken away and then my child at a landfill or my grandchild. Yes, I do. But myself, Marissa, and a few of my subs, we're going to be there. And let's hope that things calm down, that we can get back on message and not be in such of our feelings. Like, I understand. I was there on the ground with with the Summer Wells case and all that. And I get it. When you are there, it feels different. So I give them a little grace. I give everybody a little grace because I need it sometimes. No, I don't live by there at all. But you get a little bit more emotional when we're angry at the moment. That's a good way to put it. We're angry at the moment, and emotions take over sometimes when you're there. When you are like right there and you see a person who murdered their kid, this sweet little baby. Let me find this. Hold on. 1 second. Let me show you this. When you see that right there, that is what we're missing. That is what the world is missing. And the world's never going to get that little being back again. Quentin is no more. Quentin didn't have a voice. Whenever he was alive. He definitely doesn't have a voice now. And how someone can hurt an innocent baby like that, I'll never understand. I'll never get it. So that's the anger. That's the hurt. That is it. I'll never get it. He was just a baby. And that is why people get so fired up. 312, thank you for calling.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for what you do. I love you.
Thank you.
I am so sad about Quentin, and I just appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. Nobody, some of these kids, like Summer, were born really with the deck stacked against them. Just completely stacked against them.
Yeah. It's so sad. But what you do is amazing. And I just want to say I love you and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you for your kind words. You too. Love you too, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I am praying that this is not going to be another Casey Anthony. I am praying but I know that it's going to take a lot to find that little baby. Love you too, honey. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot when you have a mountain Pink Petal, there's a respectful way to handle this. What is happening will happen when hungry YouTubers exploiting the situation is vile. You can say that, but you can also say that in others' defense, people who are YouTubers who are supporting this as well. 270. Thank you for calling.
Justin,
Yes, honey.
this is Navy Vet.
It's hey, honey. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just want to tell you thank you for covering this case.
Thank you.
But I wanted to touch on something. When I was in the service, I was hazmat qualified, and everybody, they're saying about the people out there searching and everything, and the suits that they're wearing, they're not really hazmat qualified. They're not hazmat certified. The
Right.
suits aren't. So they can only be out there for so many hours because of that. And
Yeah.
the toxins that are in that landfill, the gases and everything that are there are very dangerous.
Oh,
Now, the
God.
only way that they could stay out there any longer would be if they would have the qualified hazmat suits, which are yellow, and they would have to have oxygen
Yeah.
and the respirators on.
I mean, I've been to a landfill many times, and it smells like straight up methane and ass.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It smells like methane gas.
It's horrible.
That's exactly right.
It is amazing, the gases that are
They're staying
coming
out there
off.
for 18 hours.
Yeah.
They're staying out there for 18 hours a day, 5 days a week. And people are saying, well, why do they have to take off Saturday and Sunday? Well, there aren't anybody else to do 12-hour shifts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing 18 hours.
I think
the bodies have to rest.
Of course. I think they should, if they could even do it in shifts, like even a smaller crew, maybe at night.
Right, but they don't have the people. They don't have the people to do that.
Yeah, it's hard to hire anybody right now. You got to have someone. You got to have someone trained in it too. You can't just go out there and look. You can't just go out there.
Exactly right. Right, and the way that they have to do that is they have to have just a little pile and go through each little pile at a time. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is going to sound, and I'm going to tell
Trigger
you,
warning.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Okay. If that baby was put into a dumpster and he was put into a truck, he was compacted.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you think they're going to find?
They're looking for pieces, is what they're looking for.
Exactly.
You're not going to find a whole body. You're just not.
No, you're not. You're not going to find an entire body.
Yeah.
So what they're looking for is just basically just tiny pieces of a 20-month-old baby.
Yes. And you have to remember the babies. I mean, trigger warning. This is real stuff. If you like this is real stuff we're talking about here. So trigger warning.
Exactly.
Babies' bones are, they're soft. They're flexible.
Anyway.
They're tiny, but they're very, they're very flexible. That's why babies can fall and they don't have kneecaps yet, because so they can crawl and everything like that. So.
Right. So, when he went through that compactor, it broke every bone in his body.
It did.
And then when he was taken out to that landfill and crushed and run over and crushed and run over, can you imagine what it did to him?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So what they're looking for is a needle in a haystack.
Yes.
And then you've got that methane gas that they have to deal with for 18 hours a day. And they're not using oxygen or respirators.
No.
They're just using regular masks.
Yeah.
That's not good on their lungs.
Oh no, it's not good at all. I mean, even when I leave the landfill, like I can still smell it in my nose. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's still there.
Exactly.
So they're probably
So-
smelling it 24/7 after being there 12 hours.
Well, they're there 18 hours, not 12. They're there 18 hours today.
Yeah.
Because I had to wear the yellow hazmat suits. That's what I was trained in. And those things are heavy, they're hot, and they're bulky.
Yes.
Now, can you imagine being out in that,
Right.
in the weather that Georgia has been in
Mm-hmm.
for 18 hours a day?
No. No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, there's
You're
a
right.
there's a little girl. I think she's in Ohio. She was in Ohio or something, and her mother threw her in a dumpster. They know she threw her in a dumpster, and they know
never found her
she was
body.
in the landfill, and they looked for 6 months.
And they never found her body.
Never found her.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. When that happens, when they're crushed like that, you know, their bones are crushed to almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost impossible to find any trace of them.
Yeah.
Now, if they can't find a teenager or a young girl, I don't know if they're going to be able to find Quentin.
Mm-hmm.
I hope and pray that they can.
Yes.
I just hope and pray that they can even find a piece of him.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. That's
or even a piece of his clothing.
This is what people are pissed off about.
Yes.
And I get
I
it.
don't blame them for that.
No.
I don't. I don't. Because she should not be walking the street while that baby is in that landfill. I mean, the grandmother has already said that Leilani admitted
Mm-hmm.
that she did it.
This is what she should have done, in my opinion. She should have took her daughter straight down to the police station right then and there and said, "You tell him what you
Exactly.
just told me. You tell him what you just told me."
Well, that's what I would have done to my child.
Yeah.
But see, Billy Joe didn't have the guts to do that.
Yeah.
So that makes her just as culpable as Leilani.
Yeah.
Just as culpable.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my eyes, they should both go to jail.
Yeah. Oh, in my opinion, I think Billy Joe should have some consequence out of this because she was the one who was technically responsible for them.
Well, yes, because she had custody, and she left him with Leilani.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
After social services had taken him from Leilani and given him to her.
I don't think social services did that. I think she did that on her own, actually.
Well, either way it was, she
Yeah.
had custody of him
Yeah.
and wasn't supposed to be with Leilani. Now, I don't understand why she had the boys and not the little girl.
Like the little baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either, but probably because she was a baby, and
But what got me is then Leilani tried to blame it on Quentin's dad, saying that he come in the middle of the night and took him.
mm-hmm. Well, first she said he came in the middle of the night, and then she said that no, he can't. Or she said first, maybe she said that he came and
First, she said that he could have walked out the front door.
yeah,
Or the back door.
but then she said she let him spend the night or something like that. He came and he let him spend the night. And then she said he took them or something like that in the darkness of night or whatever.
So just like what she did when he got arrested for her breaking in that trailer and stealing.
And you got to remember, these kids were born with drugs in their system.
Yes, exactly.
Every
one of them
had the cards stacked against them from birth.
That's exactly right. And you know, the funny thing is my great granddaughters, my granddaughter adopted 2 little girls, and their birth mother is named Leilani, and the youngest one was born with alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah. And she is going through, which she's doing better now, but she's going through a tough time of trying to catch up to normal.
Camille, it's supposed to be reported. There's supposed to be an immediate CPS when your child is born.
Well, there was, but see.
No. I'm talking about with Leilani.
My granddaughter took her home straight from the hospital. Her birth mother doesn't even remember her own name.
Yeah.
She doesn't even remember Erica's first name. And she named her.
Wow.
That's what you get from Leilani.
Yeah. Crazy.
Bad news.
It is.
And see, she was on drugs and alcohol, so. And she's still on drugs and alcohol because she's had 3 other kids since, and every one of them have been addicted.
Yeah. It's a really sad thing. You know, here where I am, they have so many drug addicted babies at times. You can actually get a background check, and they do a bunch of checks on you and stuff. And you can go to the NICU and rock the babies because there's so many addicted.
Oh my.
That shows you how bad it is.
That is so sad.
It is very sad. Very sad.
I don't see how a mother could do that. I really don't.
I don't either.
But anyway, I just wanted to call and you know, because I heard, you know, I saw what people were saying about the workers at the landfill, and I know people don't understand about hazmat.
Right.
You know, but I was hazmat qualified.
Yeah, you have to be certified to do that. I mean, there's I mean, you have to imagine a landfill. There is everything humanly possible in that.
There are needles in there.
Feces,
there's needles,
vomit.
There's biohazard material in there.
It's all biohazard. It's all horrible.
Right. And then all that breaks down and it makes gas, and it's dangerous. To go in that place. And then when you start pulling it out, after it starts breaking down,
it releases more gas.
It starts letting that gas out.
It's very hard on your lungs.
Yes, it is.
Very hard on your lungs. You made some valid, great points. Thank you.
Yes. And it can cause lung damage.
Yes. Yes.
You know. So, I mean, that's the point I wanted to make, to help people understand that it's not that they're not wanting to do it in search. It's that they don't have enough people to do the 12-hour shifts around the clock, and they are doing 18 hours, but they have to take those 2 days off in order to recoup from the 5 days a week, 18 hours a day. because they
Yeah,
are not
I mean,
working in hazmat.
they're working
suits.
90 hours a week, right?
Exactly. Yes.
That's a lot.
Yep. And normally, when you're out there doing that, they work in 2 12-hour shifts if there's enough people. But they don't have enough people. They do not have enough qualified hazmat people to work in that.
Yeah, I see people on chat and I see people everywhere. They're saying like expand the search, expand the search. I don't think they need to expand the search personally. I think that they have enough information that they know that that baby is in that dump.
Well, they can't expand the search if they don't have enough people
Right.
that are qualified to look.
Well, I think
You
they.
have to be qualified.
Well, I think they
You
mean.
have to be qualified to do it.
I don't think that they mean necessarily the landfill. I think they mean like lakes and ponds and
No, they know he's in the
yeah,
landfill.
that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They have enough.
They have enough evidence to know he's in
Yeah,
the landfill.
yeah,
They just have to find. They just have to try to find the evidence.
yeah,
But they just don't have the staff to find him. But they just don't have enough staff.
hmm
I mean, to do it, and you have to be qualified in order to do that job.
yeah. Well, I just
And they just don't have it.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Well, thank you, Justin.
Yes, and
I just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
thank you. And these people are FBI as well. These are FBI.
Right. Well, they're FBI and some of the sheriff's department.
Right, and they're all trained. I mean, these are
They're all
professionals.
trained in hazmat.
They know what to look for, and
Exactly. And they're taking little bits at a time and searching each little piece. So, they know how to do it.
yeah, they do. They do. But
I would go and help, but I'm too old.
yeah, honey, you've done your time. God bless you. I appreciate your service and everything. I really do. You're a blessing to so many of us in the community. So thank you.
I wouldn't care a bit to go do it, but I'm just too old to go do it anymore.
Yeah. That's hard. It's really, thank you, Julie, for becoming a member. Appreciate you, honey. Thank you.
I could see me out there trying to do it at almost 70.
Oh, bless you. Well, listen, we have to pray that they find this baby. We
That's
have to
right.
pray because it's going to be it's going to open up a whole other doors, and let's just stay on target and pray.
Right. But, some of this has to calm down.
It does. It does. I support.
Everybody has the right to protest. That's under our constitutional
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
But, you can take it too far.
We've got to get back on track.
Right.
I agree, and I
keep
think
it in check.
Yes.
And just don't get overheated and forget what you're protesting about. It's not about it's not about us. It's not about
Yes.
anything else. It's about that baby.
Well, once when we say something that triggers them, they say something that triggers us, and then it becomes
You
ping
can't
pong.
let that happen.
A ping pong. So less than 48 hours until Dawn is released. East Tennessee better lock up their 5 to 12-year-old kids. Absolutely, I see you. It will. And you're right, Meep. It will calm down. Everyone's just pissed right now. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, like I said, the reason why is because that baby's in that landfill.
I get it. I'm pissed as hell.
Free.
I get it.
I'm mad too.
Yeah.
And if the police hadn't said what they did, this would not be the way that it is.
Yeah. The police should not have named her a prime suspect right now unless they were going to lock her up, in my opinion.
Exactly, because they're the ones that caused it.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I agree. You know, I mean, when you kind of have suspicion of
They
someone,
could have said she was a person of interest,
yes. But
not a prime suspect.
yeah.
Because they're the ones that caused all this uproar.
Yep.
So, you know, they need to take their responsibility for doing what they did.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but you lay the blame where the blame goes.
That's right.
So.
Thank you, my dear.
Listen, I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Appreciate you. Love you, dear.
Love you too, dear.
All right, honey. Bye-bye.
Good night.
I love Navy Bet. I love her. She's so sweet. And Tupac, you're right. America, we have more parents who kill than any other country. Something's wrong with that. I agree. I think that woman in the wagon, I think that's where it really went overboard today. You know, I think she went out and did that. Hey, Jess, are you a Patreon? Why has Leilani not been took in for questioning if she's named number one? I'm sure that Leilani has been questioned. I'm sure she has. But this is the thing. You don't have to talk to the police. If you're a suspect, you can walk out at any moment during questioning. You don't have to go down to questioning. I do have Patreon, my love. One of the mods can drop the Patreon link, please. Yes, they're back. They're acting like it's just another normal day. I'm sorry. I'd be in the hospital strapped to a bed if I couldn't find my baby. Paranormal investigator, I agree. So would I. Revenge, you're funny. If Utah doesn't pick him up, then Ben Hill. Yeah, I guess he'll be on the Ben Hill. There's going to be a lot of grass to cut up here. That's exactly right. Until they've actually been charged with something, they can walk. Even then, you can lawyer up and you still don't have to talk to them, really. It's a free country. So Sharon Savage started the mess. Yeah. Savage. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off. I love you all. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for this discussion this evening. I appreciate it. And we will be back live tomorrow at some point. So I love you all. Thank you. Justice for Quentin. We've got to find justice for this little boy. Oh, thank you, Revenge. Thank you. Message me. Thank you. God love you all. Good night and God bless.